In a world where every watch brand insists on having its own heritage story, often involving a fictional mountaineer from 1872, Golby Watches takes a refreshingly honest approach. Founded by Craig Golby, a lifelong watch enthusiast with a passion for precision, a love for the British coastline, and a genuinely decent guy, this independent microbrand isn't about gimmicks. It's about creating beautifully made, reliable timepieces for people who actually care about watches. Golby isn't trying to be flashy. There's no corporate nonsense, no painfully forced luxury branding, just solid, well-crafted watches that do exactly what they're supposed to do. Keep time, look great, and last. And while the big brands rely on decades of marketing muscle, Golby lets the watches, and the people who wear them, do the talking. And there's something quite unmistakably British about it all. Not in a stiff upper lip way, but in that quietly confident, no-nonsense approach to craftsmanship. To me, Golby Watches is the equivalent to the Lotus Elise. Made by enthusiasts for enthusiasts, with more than enough power, performance and precision at a price that makes the big boys look a bit silly. So, if you appreciate independent brands, good design and a watchmaker that actually gives a damn, Golby Watches is probably worth your time. Golby have kindly sent me 2 watches from their lineup to check out and review, but don't despair. Once I've had my wicked ways with them, they'll be packaged up and sent right back without so much of a penny coming my way. But if you'd like to support the channel and send a penny or 2 my way, then the link to buy me a coffee is in the description. And while you're there, why not give the video a like and hit that subscribe button? It really helps the channel and will keep me motivated into making more of this sort of content. And thanks. Aesthetically, these 2 watches are unmistakably cut from the same cloth, or rather, forged from the same meticulously crafted steel. The oil-pressed wave dials, a knowing nod to the iconic 90s Omega Seamaster, flirt with nostalgia without being enslaved by it. Perhaps influenced, certainly inspired, but ultimately march into the beat of their own drum. The ceramic bezels, sleek and unashamedly contemporary, add a touch of modernity, while flashes of vibrant colours thread through both models like a mischievous middle finger to the same old black on steel. But don't be fooled into thinking this is merely a case of big watch, little watch. Oh no, these are siblings, certainly, but ones with very different personalities. One is the no-nonsense, effortlessly charismatic alpha, striding into a room with an air of quiet authority. The other? Refined, yes, but with a glint in its eye and a taste for the mischief. Equally compelling, but keep it away from the cocktails and sambucas, or you'll soon find yourself in the kind of chaos that ends with questionable decisions and a story you'll never live down. They share the same DNA, but their souls utterly, deliciously opposed. The Aquareef comes in 8 colour variants, each inspired by the UK's charmingly unpredictable coastline. Whether it's the white bezels paired with inner rings of orange, like I have on show here, teal or navy, or the black bezels complemented with inner rings of the aforementioned colours, there's a hue for every taste, assuming your taste aligns with Craig's, of course. The dial features an oil-pressed wave pattern that enables a level of depth that captures the light and casts shadows dramatically and is complemented by thick sword-style hands that are finished on the edge in the same colour as the outer ring. Measuring 41mm in diameter and 13.1mm thick, and crafted from 316L stainless steel. The case is entirely brushed, eschewing any unnecessary polishing because, let's be honest, this thing isn't here to be your fancy. This is an all-action, do-anything tool watch. The lug-to-lug distance is a wrist spanning 50.5mm, but fear not. Female end links ensure a snug fit even on daintier wrists, which is helped even more by the perfect fit on-the-fly micro-adjustment clasp. The standout feature of the Aquareef is its dual timer functionality, courtesy of a rotating internal chapter ring controlled by a screw-down crown at the 2 o'clock position. This allows you to track a second time zone without the added hassle of having to be adorned with a GMT-specific movement, if that is such a deal breaker, but I've no idea why it would be. Honestly, I'm a bit of a fan of the compressor watch aesthetic, but as someone that only just received my 10-metre swimming certificate by secretly tiptoeing on the swimming pool floor, I have no reason to actually own one. But I do occasionally go on holiday, so then why not get the look, but have it function with something that is actually useful? The unidirectional 120 click outer bezel is displayed with a countdown orientation, a genius decision in my opinion, because did I mention that I can hardly swim or dive, but I do occasionally boil an egg. The bezel is mechanically as solid as a rock, with positive feedback on the turn and a sound that just must be heard. Beating away inside is the Seiko NH35, known for its reliability and affordability. It's a dependable old banger. Won't win any races, but it'll get you where you need to go. And a bit of clarification on the Lotus Elise analogy. Yes, I hear the cries of, but the Elise S1 used the Rover K-Series engine, a lump that was renowned for its unreliability, so your analogy doesn't work. And to that I say, I've owned a K-Series engined car as a weekend toy for 8 years, and it's cost me the grand total of £6 in repairs in that time. Look after your stuff, show it respect, and the unreliability nonsense miraculously disappears. And also, yes, I'd swap my toy for an Elise any time of the day. The Golby Aquareef is an honest, capable and well-spec'd watch that offers excellent value for money. While it might not be the most original watch in the world, it does have its own attitude and nuances, and it makes a case for itself with its robust build and thoughtful design tweaks. And priced at the current offer of just £329, that's a lot of bang for your buck. And as a side note, here you'll see me wearing the Aquareef on one of Golby's silicone straps. This isn't a review of it, but wow, it feels great, looks amazing, and if you're interested in getting your hands on one, check out the Golby store, link in description. So where does the Coastal fit in this picture? After all, they're both rugged, coastal-inspired watches with a distinctly British sensibility. However, while they share some family traits, the Coastal is very much its own beast, leaner, more refined, and perhaps a touch more versatile. It's gearing up for a grand launch on Kickstarter come mid-March, and if early impressions are anything to go by, it's already causing a bit of a stir amongst horology buffs and casual wearers alike. So let's break it down. The Coastal comes in a delectable 36mm case. On the small side for a dive watch, granted, yet look past the usual diver design cues and you'll find a watch that has more in common with different sports watch styles, albeit with a stunning dive bezel. Like the Aquareef, it comes in an array of dashing colours, such as the purple I have here, a stunning teal blue beauty, and the real showstopper for me, the zesty orange variant. You see, although I have family that lives on the Cornish coastline, and don't get me wrong, I love going down there. I'm a Lincolnshire lad born and bred, and we have our own coastlines up here. In fact, I grew up a literal stone's throw away from the beach. Yes, up here, we might be overrun with mobility scooters, seagulls that spent their entire jail sentences in the prison gym, and sadly, a very real lack of investment in the area. But one thing we do have is the memories of donkey rides on the beach, buying sticks of rock and ice lollies on the promenade, and wasting our pocket money in the arcades. And this watch, with that array of colours, took me straight back to those memories. And this reference isn't just squished in as a content filler, but hopefully gives a first clue as to what this watch represents. Yes, it could perform as a dive watch, no doubt, but it is happier and makes more sense on the water's edge. A beach watch, or coastal watch, if you want to attach a name to it. And of course, like the Aquareef, the piece de resistance, or as we say here up north, the dog's bollocks, is the countdown bezel. Except, with the aforementioned pigeonholing of the watch, it makes even more sense here. Whether you're timing your sunbathe, or ensuring you don't overstay your welcome at the ice cream parlour's pay and display car park, this feature is practical. And being attached to a 37mm bezel that overhangs the watch case makes it easy and satisfying to twist. But although it's just as solid and just as precise as the Aquareef, it's been toned down in both tactileness and sound, which, in my opinion, suits the whole style the watch was going for. Forged from 316L stainless steel, the Coastal has the kind of robust build quality that suggests it could have a minor scuffle with the rogue seagull hell-bent on stealing your fish and chips. The brush finishing gives it a utilitarian edge, while the flashes of polished metal raise the watch up into the fancy pants scale. The solid caseback features an original line art engraving. Is it required? No. Am I happy it is there? Of course. And for those worried about water resistance, it's rated to 100 metres. ensuring that an unexpected and embarrassing slip off the dock whilst taking that selfie with the sunset in the background won't be its undoing. At the heart of it all lies the reliable Miyota 90S5 movement. And if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you'll know that I am more than a bit of a fan of this series. Great finishing, high beat, and up there with the likes of the Swiss workhorses such as the Sleater SW200. A watch can have all the bells and whistles in the world, but if it wears like a medieval shackle, it's all for nothing. Thankfully, the Coastal is designed with comfort in mind. The 36mm case, the 44mm lug-to-lug, 10.7mm thickness and 20mm lug-to-lug strike a harmonious balance, making it a snug fit on most wrists without feeling cumbersome. The brushed 5-link bracelet is a dream, but the decision to include a butterfly clasp is, on the face of it, a weird one. But dig a little deeper and consider that this watch isn't an all-out diver, and it makes a little more sense. Although, personally, I would have still preferred to have a proper diver clasp with the option of some micro adjustment here. It's an everyday watch in the truest sense, smart enough for formal occasions, but not so flashy that you'll look like you're compensating for something. Whether you're attending a wedding, braving the chaos of the morning commute, or crabbing in rock pools on an ebb tide, the Golby Coastal fits the bill. Kickstarter pre-orders for the Coastal are going to be starting at the £349 mark, a price that feels almost criminally reasonable for what you're getting. With build quality, aesthetics and practicality all ticked off in style, it's a piece that punches well above its weight. Dare I say, the best new affordable watch of 2025? It's still too early to make that judgment, but it may well be the benchmark for all other watches to chase. Oh, and one last thing. Did I mention the loom? Well, yeah, it looms alright. And the Aquareef? Well, not so much, but if loom is a deal breaker, then check out the black bezel versions. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.